Hello, Larissa Rose here from the Queensland Renewable Fuels Association, and we're also the Below 50 Australia Regional Hub. I'm here with Gerard Ostheimer from Below 50 Global. He's a senior lead, and we've been here for the Global Climate Action Summit, but also we've been here for some other fantastic side events which are doing some really pivotal work on vocalising and getting across the actions and the enabling activities in regards to low carbon initiatives. So, Jerry, we've had an event yesterday. Would you like to do a great cap-up on that?
Sure. What's been exciting this week here at the California Global Climate Action Summit has been all of the emphasis on landscapes and all of the emphasis on transportation. And one of the places where these intersect is on bioenergy and biofuels. And so this is what we're super excited in Below 50 to work with you, because Queensland has land, it has agriculture, it has resources, it has the relevant landscapes, and it has serious challenges or opportunities around decarbonizing hard to electrify sectors like mining, construction, maritime, jet. And so we view in Below 50 Global, we're very excited about the partnership that we have with Below 50 Australia. This week we had the opportunity to work with our Below 50 North America partner, so the Biotechnology Innovation Organization, BIO for short, is active in the U.S. bioeconomy as an advocate and policy developer, and they host Below 50 here in North America. And so this week we had a, if I may say so, very successful event where BIO, Below 50 Global, and the California Low Carbon Fuels Coalition had an event focused on California's low carbon fuels global leadership. Perhaps people who watch this will know, but if they don't, they should know that California is sucking in all the low carbon fuels from around the world because California has the best policy combination that rewards people who have fuels that reduce carbon emissions. So it's called the California Low Carbon Fuel Standard, and fuels are not judged on a pathway, they're actually judged on their carbon intensity. So each fuel from each facility is given a carbon score, and they are rewarded for that carbon score by the market that California has also created. The result is that we have companies shipping renewable diesel from as far away as Singapore. We have we have new investments happening in the United States. People are shipping ethanol, renewable diesel, renewable jet from all over the US to California because that's where they get the best price. And frankly, one of the themes that emerged was we had a number of private sector players talking about the benefits of the California Low Carbon Fuel Standard. And so it seems a bit of a no-brainer, but what we need are more low carbon fuel standards. You know, we don't have to start with a top-down price on carbon. We don't have to start with it would help, but we don't have to start with, a federal body coming in and saying this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's okay for states and provinces and municipalities at the subnational level to put policies in place, because particularly if they have the market pull of California, you can actually have a very big impact. And so, it helps that California has a lot of drivers and a lot of transportation. They're a big market. But it's just really impressive the attention that they've drawn. There are new facilities being built in neighboring states, in Nevada, in Oregon, that are going to feed renewable diesel and renewable jet into California. There's no reason in the world why projects in Queensland can't feed fuels into California. But wouldn't we be better off if there was a low carbon fuel standard in Australia or China or India, so that you could have those markets develop?
Yeah, for sure. There's a great opportunity for us to consider and look at the pathways that have already been developed. And what does that mean on the context? I guess in the state of Queensland, there's a lot of jurisdictions around the world that have taken the lead and we've already heard a lot at this event over the last couple of days about what the state of Oregon is doing and where they're progressing, and Washington.
That's right.
Definitely.
That's right. British Columbia.
Absolutely.
No, there's a very There's a very exciting possibility that there will be low carbon fuel standards in British Columbia, Washington State, Oregon State, California. So the entire Pacific coast of North America could actually have a low carbon fuel standard. And what's important is that these don't exist in isolation. So people that are generating carbon credits in these different jurisdictions, they can actually swap and trade, and it becomes a homogeneous market. So again, what you end up with is a functional carbon price, a functional carbon market, but it's not being determined by the government. It's being determined by market forces after the government has set some ground rules. But the government is not saying it's 25 Australian or 100 US per ton. It's a price that emerges organically as a function of new fuels, better fuel technologies, and as a function of the demand for the fuel.
Absolutely, and we could definitely extract that even more, I guess, and what that definitely will mean on an Australian context, and what that would mean in the future for shifting with policy, but also really ensuring that we develop a lot on that market-based approach, because we understand that that's going to be one of the most significant drivers to achieve a lot of those emission outcomes in regards to lower carbon fuels, and those fuels entering the market a lot, especially in Queensland. So moving aside, Jerry, I think it's good for us to also touch on a point. Below 50, a lot of people really want to understand it more, and what is it, and what does it mean to be a part of the Below 50 network. One of those questions I get asked a lot is about that, and I guess these videos are there to help showcase that a little bit more. But also, we've had some fantastic announcements in Queensland. Queensland is pedalling very fast forward. Aggressive state.
Global leader, without a doubt.
Aggressive state, and that's on the sense of the Queensland government's work, and they absolutely have flown the flag significantly in Philadelphia at the World Bio Congress. The Queensland State Government and Minister Cameron Dick led the way with the Queensland Government signing to Below 50 Australia and becoming the first member and the first
government member. That's
absolutely.
Right. That's
and first government member. Sorry for that correction there. And then also becoming the first in the world out of all jurisdictions to commit to Below 50 outcomes.
That's right.
So that's fantastic. We've got the opportunity now to work with the Queensland Government to action on that and work out, well, what are those key drivers that we need to do to enable that. We're going to work closely now with the Minister. And that's a good showcase to see that government are coming in and taking the lead, and even more opportunity to show those bigger demand parts of the supply chain, our large, heavy infrastructure, freight, logistics, mining, and the construction sector, who have huge opportunities with the volume of low carbon fuels to come in and be involved in a campaign like Below 50.
That's right.
Yeah.
So just to remind people, Below 50 means fuels that reduce emissions by more than 50% relative to fossil. And Below 50 is not a producer group. We actually want to be a demand group, as you've been saying. And so we actually have membership categories for everybody from infrastructure, governments, investors, producers, feedstock suppliers, but most importantly on the demand side. And so it's been really great to have Queensland, the government was always supportive a little bit behind the scenes, but now they have come out and signed on as the first governmental entity to be a part of the Below 50 campaign. We're very excited to have an event in November where we're going to talk about what that means, what we can do together. But basically, it's Below 50 as a global campaign can help carry Queensland's water to the world, to let the world, we want to help let the world know that Queensland is open for business in the bioeconomy, that Queensland is open for investment, and that diverse companies from around the world, which you do a great job in liaising with, are invited to come and think about how to use Queensland's ag resources to produce low carbon fuels, and to do that in a way that generates jobs and community development and all of the things that we all want for Queensland and the world.
That's right, and it's advancing us to where we need to get to. So thank you for today, Jerry. It's been fantastic to hang out the last couple of days.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
I look forward to our joint event in November.
Yep.